What's up, y'all? It's 3 Wheel Khalil, and this is my new Can-Am Ryker Rally.
Hey guys, so I feel like the most pertinent question to answer is probably why get a motorcycle at all? Why hop onto 2 or 3 wheels and, risk putting yourself in danger for the purpose of riding exposed to the elements? And for me, that's kind of part of the whole Florida lifestyle. I lived most of my life in Georgia, and I came to Florida recently, specifically the Palm Beaches, as I'll be showing you today. And to me, it was a big deal to kind of participate and be present in where I'm living and, the things that surround me. So I've always had, what I would call like a recreational vehicle. I've always had something that I enjoyed to work on and I enjoyed to drive. Most recently, that was a E90 BMW 330. I loved that car. But there was a time where I just kind of came to that realization that I wanted something a little different. I wanted something also somewhat new to me, something I could learn and kind of grow with. And the Can-Am Ryker fit that bill for me. I love to do outdoor activities. I go kayaking on the weekends a lot of days. I like to do fishing with my beautiful fiance. So being able to kind of get out and keep things low profile and just show up on 3 wheels and have a little fun just kind of fit in with my vision of living in Palm Beach and enjoying the area. And I'm only a few days in, and I wouldn't trade it for a lot of other experiences. So to follow that up, I suppose the question is, why Can-Am? Why 3 wheels over 2 wheels? And for me, that's a pretty short answer. I never really envisioned myself riding on 2 wheels. Looking at motorcycles and the experience that you get with them, it's always seemed super cool to me. I have the utmost respect for people who ride motorcycles well, and the machines themselves are also just really cool pieces of machinery. But I've always been much more intrigued by Can-Am's version of the 3-wheeler. I think a lot of people kind of get stuck on this idea of that old school 3-wheeler, that, Honda Goldwing trike, the trike conversion kits, and they don't give enough credit to what Can-Am has designed with the Spider and the Ryker line, which to me is a vehicle that was built to be on 3 wheels, and a vehicle that does that really well, and a vehicle that provides a different experience from that of a motorcycle. Yes, the open air and that feeling is similar, but I think the actual driving dynamics and what to expect, and also possibly what you enjoy, is different. And I think that should be respected. I think a lot of times people try and say that, people who enjoy riding Can-Am Rykers and Spiders, it's because they can't ride a motorcycle, or they don't want to hold up a bike, or they're unable to hold up a bike. And what about for the people who just enjoy the challenge of having this beast that is like a snowmobile on the road and rips insanely hard, and the back end gets loose and it's a little drift machine? It's a different feeling. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So for me, it wasn't really, okay, well, maybe later I'm going to get onto a motorcycle, but for now I'll start here. No, for me, this was always the goal, was to get a Can-Am Spider or Ryker. Obviously, for most years it was a Spider. Middle school, high school, I always kind of dreamt of having a Spider. Funny enough, I dreamt of having a Spider RT, and I wanted to travel and fill my bags with, camping gear and clothes, and go all over the place on a cool 3-wheel bike. I'm so stoked, honestly, to see what they've done with the new Spider RT line. I think that It looks awesome. I think that they've kind of taken the cue from the Ryker and see that, man, it's kind of time to bring that bike into the modern time. So I think the RT looks awesome. If I had 30,000 to drop on a bike, I'd get an RT today, but I don't. So I did my best and got a beautiful Ryker Rally. And that kind of brings me to my next point, which is, if I love spiders so much, well, then why did I get a Ryker? Well, like I just said, one of the main reasons is it's affordable to buy brand new, or with very little miles. I bought mine a 2019 used with only 690 miles. I was really happy to do that, and that was actually pretty important to me, because I've had a lot of used cars over the years, and while they can be, a great value, sometimes I feel like you come in a little too late to the game, and you can't really verify what's been done and how it's been treated, and you end up with problems that you feel like maybe you shouldn't have or should have been taken care of earlier. And when you get to the end of the life, you're not having as much fun with it because you're spending so much time correcting past mistakes of previous owners and stuff like that. So that was something important to me, to get a bike that was fairly fresh, that I could feel like, I knew the ins and outs of the bike. I, put in the tender love and care to keep it how it should be and maintain it how it should be maintained. So that was a fairly important factor in deciding to go with something that was considerably cheaper, which is obviously the Can-Am Ryker. Also, it just felt like a bike that was built, for the younger rider, for somebody who wants something different. And as soon as I saw, the advertising, I felt like it spoke to me. I felt like, man, they built this bike for Khalil. As soon as I saw it, I knew that this was kind of the next step in my adventure, and I'm really glad that I've taken that next step. And it comes back to kind of enjoying this Florida lifestyle, and even, if we go somewhere else, I just, there's so many places that I can see a Ryker just being a damn hoot to drive around town and through back roads and ripping around by the river. So it's an exciting thing to think about, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Last but certainly not least is why I chose a Ryker Rally over, a base model 600 or a 900. And I think for me, it came down to simply wanting the most bang for my buck at the start of everything. And I came into it wanting to purchase a bike that I didn't feel like I was going to want to upgrade in a year. I didn't want to feel like, hey, in 2 months I'm going to feel underpowered, or in 3 weeks I'm going to feel like, man, I should have bought the 900, or man, I should have bought the Rally. And there's some certain things that I know that I wanted to do. I know I'm going to want to put bags and possibly a 2-up seat on the back. So I knew I wanted a max mount. I knew I liked the idea of the 2-up spring being included. Obviously some of the other little additional, like the hand guards, have been fairly useful, but some of that stuff that I knew I was going to purchase, I just thought it made more sense when I saw a pretty good deal on a Rally to go for the Rally over the 900. Personally, the 600 really wasn't even too much of a consideration for me. I learned how to ride three-wheelers on a 600, but I quickly kind of left that behind. I enjoyed it. I think it's an amazing piece of machinery, but I also knew that my own personality, I know I'm not really like a base model guy. I know that I'll get very quickly kind of past that feeling, and I'll get quickly to the point where I'm like, man, I wish I had, the next step up. I wish I had that extra bit of power. And so I didn't want to have that feeling. I wanted to buy something that I knew that when I had it years down the road, I would be happy that I had the best that was offered at that time, the strength. And for me, when I have that extra under the hood, or that extra bit of comfort or stability and all of that, it kind of makes me more proud of that bike and more proud of that item. My car's the same way, and I think I kind of ride that vehicle longer because I know that I have something that truly took a little bit more of an investment up front, but was worth it in the end. So guys, thank you for riding with me. I've been Three Wheel Khalil. This has been Palm Beach. This has been my introduction on why I even bought this crazy, awesome machine beneath me, the Can-Am Ryker Rally. I hope you guys stay along with me for the whole journey. I'll be posting a lot of different Ryker videos on this channel. Hopefully some Ryker install videos, some more moto vlogging type stuff. Gotta build out my on-bike video arsenal, microphone, lapel microphone, etc., stuff like that. So, hey, stay tuned with me, and hopefully we'll create some cool content and we can get out riding together. Peace.